David Whitmer is one of the main men. Well, okay. Parley P. Pratt. He's now hurrying. Tell me, can he get back to Ohio in a couple of days? No. No Pony Express, no telegraph. He's got to move it, but it's actually going to take him quite a long time. When he gets back, he has an amazing message to tell. He tells about horrific. He uses that word. He talks about the word terror. He talks about the words, Zion has fallen. He talks about men, women, and children, women being defiled of that which is most precious. He's talking about everything that you would say, atrocities of war against a very defenseless people. As Joseph now listens, Joseph begins to sob. And he says, "Oh God." And then he said that he very much wished that he had been in Jackson County to have suffered as his friends had suffered. Okay, anyway, a response. Okay, with this, the question is, Joseph, what are you going to do about it? What's his answer? Raise a what? Raise an army. Go back and redeem Zion. So, okay, here's Joseph Smith. All right, everybody got this? So, how long did Zion last?
2 years.
Okay, about 2 years, right? 1831 to 33, an incredible experiment with stewardship, consecration, trying to live the laws of Zion, keep the Sabbath day holy, love your neighbor, love yourself, love the Lord. Okay, so here's now Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith prays to the Lord, and you've all read the Book of Mormon, and you realize that Captain Moroni, what makes him so great is that when he goes into battle, he never goes into battle unless he seems to guarantee a victory. And so, you never want to just fight to fight. You want to fight because in this case, he wants to win, and he wants to get his people back on their lands of what? What do you call those? Lands of inheritance. And in addition, he wants to build how many temples? 24. And so Joseph now concludes he's going to form a kind of quasi-military called Zion's. Anybody name it? Camp. Okay. In other words, I'm going to raise from Kirtland enough men to now go back and to reclaim Zion. In other words, you can't just push somebody off their property and, that isn't right. I'm going to raise an army. Well, okay. He now prays to the Lord to ask, hey, what do you think? And the Lord says, yeah, okay, good. But then Joseph wants to know, he wants to guarantee victory. In other words, I don't want to take an armed men and go 800 miles and have no victory. So Joseph now prays to the Lord, and the big question is, if I get 500 men, will you guarantee me victory? And the Lord is yes. 500 men, you can take back Jackson County. You can put your friends up in Clay County. They'll go back in. Well, Joseph isn't quite sure he can raise 500 men. And so he goes back to the Lord. How about 400? And the Lord says yes. Joseph's not sure he can really get 400. He goes back, how about 300? And finally he goes back and he goes, okay, how about if I only have 200 men? Can I have guaranteed victory? And the Lord says 200 men and not one man less. In other words, you get 200 good men who will live the laws of Zion, who will march 800 miles. I guarantee you victory, and you get all that land back. Well, okay. Joseph now stands up in Kirtland, and he says, I am looking for volunteers to help me redeem Zion. How many volunteer? And the answer is 40. Okay. Tell me, is he going to have victory? Okay, no victory. Okay, is Joseph in trouble? And his answer is yes. But you know what he does? He says, okay, I'm going to leave with my 40 men from Kirtland, but at the same time, I'm going to call men on missions, and you're going to go through every state in the United States, And when you baptize a family, you send mom and you send the children to Kirtland. But you tell the dad and any sons that are 18 or over, find me, I'm marching towards Zion. Okay, so try and imagine, who then makes up most of Zion's camp? Brand new converts. You know, who is the most famous of those brand new converts? Because you'll get only 40 that say could have conceivably been in the church 1830, and now we're at 1834, so the oldest longevity in the church, 4 years. You'd say, who's your most famous of the converts that joins the church and finds Joseph marching somewhere towards Missouri, and the name is Wilford Woodruff. What's his first experience in the church? You'd say he joins an army. Now, okay, try and imagine. Would you like to be baptized? Yes. Well, now that you've been baptized, I want to teach you the doctrine of gathering. And you are to leave from Michigan, but oh, well, I didn't mean dad, and I didn't mean the teenage sons or young adult sons, but I want your wife and kids, you gathered to Ohio, but you guys, you're about to join an army called what? Zion's Camp. Zion's Camp will actually grow to 207 men. Does he have enough to guarantee victory? Yes. Okay, he has enough. Now, okay, I'm going to take you through Zion's Camp. Okay, you can imagine, and I would think the same thing in Hawaii. If you got 40 men and they started walking down your highways or even on the beach, and they're walking together and they started walking for mile after mile, would they be a newsworthy item? Okay, and then you were to find that 40 increased to 207, and they just kind of kept walking around the island and, getting more and more. Well, you've all seen Forrest Gump, he's running along and then he's got a group. Okay, so you started getting more and more and more. Are they a newsworthy item? Okay, well, try and imagine this. Okay, they're going. As they start marching towards Zion, pretty soon you've got one reporter, and you know how a reporter wants to get his name on the map or her name on the map? One reporter begins to write, and he says, there's a group called Zion's Camp, and the number of people in the camp is 10,000 men. Okay, well, tell me, if you're sitting in Jackson County, you can be nervous? 10,000 men, huh? Another reporter says, yeah, hey, I've seen the 10,000 men. But have you seen the cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night and the angels who are flying overhead? Okay, if you're in Jackson County, you're going to be nervous? Oh yeah, you're going to start to be nervous because remember, they're real superstitious out there. Okay, another reporter says, well, that's nothing. Have you not looked in their wagons? They have enough guns in their wagons to arm 14,000 Indians. And they're going to go around Jackson County. They're going to go to the border. They're going to go out there, get the Indians, and you're going to have the biggest attack you ever saw in Jackson County. You kill Joseph, and suddenly he can have a notch on his belt, and he's the new Jesse James. He's Sundance Kid. He's Okay, tell me, would you see that? Because all of a sudden you go, you kill the big guy in your name, like the guy who kills Lincoln. Okay, so suddenly Joseph Smith concludes, I better have a false name on this camp. With the idea, I can't have everybody coming up saying Joseph, Joseph, because I got people in town that want to take the pot shot. And so Joseph, for the camp, changes his name to Squire Cook. Okay, now all the students I've taught, I've never taught anybody named Squire. Oh, Prince Squire, okay. And you'd say, well, that's a fake name. I'm going to pick him out of the crowd. But why would it work at this time?
Because everybody has weird names.
Okay, everybody has weird names. Remember, Mom is naming them what she wants them to be when they grow up. My son, I'm calling him President Jones. And I'm calling my son Dr. Evans, okay. And so Squire Cook, it actually fits in the time period. But then Joseph doesn't want everybody coming up going Squire, Squire, Squire. And so so he now says, okay, what I think we should do, let's take this camp, and 10 or 12, and then the group of 10 of 12 select a leader who will report to me. Okay, years later, Brigham Young, who becomes the governor of the territory of Utah, official by the President of the United States, is asked, what's the greatest honor you ever received by man? You know, not by God, by man. And he goes, oh, that's easy.